What's up, everyone? This is Josh from East West Healing. Today I want to talk about oysters. Oysters, get your oysters here. But before we jump in, as always, please like this video, show us a little support. Hit that notification button, subscription button, wherever it is, to show us a little support. But also, so every single Wednesday when we release a video, you are the first to get notified. Let's jump in. Chia seeds, all these different things are being promoted as superfoods. You know what is a superfood? You know what is a power protein? You know what is a metabolic food? Oysters. Why? Because they're rich in minerals. They're rich in vitamin D, C, B12, iron, magnesium, manganese, phosphorus, copper, selenium, zinc. Did I say zinc? It is a superfood, which means you don't have to guzzle down a ton of them to give your body the nutrients that it needs on a daily basis. You could realistically eat 1 to 2 oysters a day and keep the doctor away. I'm not saying that's what you have to do, but what I'm saying is if you sit down and you have a snack with some oysters and fruit or oysters, a few corn chips, which is super light, so keep that in mind, because if you have that, because oysters are very light, right, you might have to eat something within 2 to 3 hours. But if you have oysters, a few oysters with some steak and rice, very dense, that's a meal, it'll carry you through. So you could easily get away with eating oysters once a week and get all the nutrients you need from that very food. Now, of course, you can eat them daily if you want, but I just don't think there's a need because it is a power food, right? It helps us with our hormonal system, our immune system, supports our thyroid and adrenals, supports iron recycling because of the copper that's in there, but also it supports energy production. And this is what food is all about, right? This is what food is medicine is all about. It's what we're eating provides our body with what we need to not only create sustainability, but to feed our systems, to feed our enzymatic reactions, to feed energy production so we can put money in the bank, so we can reduce inflammation and make us more metabolic, make us more homeostatic, fill up our tanks, pay off our debt. And this is what oysters is all about. Now, of course, you can get them fresh, you can get them canned, but you have to choose wisely. But I think when it comes to oysters, the biggest recommendation I can make, and I mentioned this already, is they're a very light food. So you have to be cautious of what you're pairing it with, right? I'm not saying you can't have oysters and fruit, but you have to remember that oysters are light, right? So if you have them with fruit, it's not going to be a meal that sustains you for 3 to 4 hours. So you always have to keep that in mind depending on what works for you, right? So if you have oysters and fruit, you might go, but I have to eat in 2 hours. Based on my needs, my schedule, it doesn't work for you. You might have to pair it with something dense, maybe rice, maybe some fruit and roots, maybe some fruit and squash to create more density to give you that sustainability and stability that you need. Lastly, remember, as I mentioned, nature always provides us with what we need. You don't need to be taking zinc supplements, all these different supplements, because if you eat this food, you don't need those minerals. And the danger is when you overtake zinc supplements, it causes your body to produce a protein in liver called metallothionein. Metallothionein chelates copper. No copper, this means you can't regulate histamine, you can't regulate iron. This means you can't reduce inflammation, you can't produce energy. Right? It's that simple. So put the supplements away. Start eating your oysters, whether it's daily, whether it's weekly. I always tell clients, even if you're eating it once a week, you're having half a can or a few, it's better than not having any at all. Hopefully you enjoy this video. If you have questions below, put them in the comments and start eating those oysters today.